you start stretching your back, make sure to do some other kind of physical activity before this, so you're already starting with your body slightly warm, whether you do a little cardio, do your leg stretches, a little aerial, anything. Just don't be completely cold when you start stretching your back. We're gonna start with some cobras on the floor. Lying flat on your stomach, I'm gonna lift my hands up, keep my body nice and straight. I'm gonna look up with my head and start lifting my chest as high as possible without touching the floor. Once I'm as high as I can go and I start to feel a little pinching of the muscles working in my back, I'm gonna place my fingertips on the floor and use them as little as possible, still pulling back with my head to go all the way back into my cobra. From here, I'm gonna think about my rib cage being pulled forward, and I'm pressing down, keeping my head back, and it's the last thing to roll all the way forward. And again, we're gonna lift up the hands, use those muscles to lift up, 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 press back to your full cobra, and then slowly roll forward. Your head is the last thing to come forward. Next, we're gonna do some shoulder stretches on the wall. You're gonna come up to the wall. I like to place my hands at about boob height, step back, and stretch down and forward, giving your shoulders a nice stretch.
Trying to tuck your chin into your chest and press down, almost like you were trying to touch your head to the wall. I like to hold for about 30 seconds and do this 2 times.
Next, we're gonna do our cat stretch. We're gonna reach both hands up nice and high on the wall. We're gonna look up with our head and we're gonna sink our chest down to the wall, sticking our bum out to get as low as possible. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Make sure to focus on your breathing and do this twice. Next, we're gonna go into our hangbacks. These are gonna help with our bridges from standing. I'm gonna stand with my feet about hip width apart. I'm gonna lace my fingers together and place them on the front of my rib cage. I'm gonna squeeze my elbows into my sides. And from here, keeping my knees nice and straight, I'm just gonna stick my butt out and my chest forward. Starting with the head, I'm gonna look up and let my head lead me back as I start going back into my arch. My hips are slowly gonna start to come forward. I'm gonna keep my knees nice and straight and go back as far as possible. My weight is gonna be pushing out through the front of my hip bones. From here to come back up, I'm gonna start sticking my butt back out, pressing my chest back forward, and coming back to my starting position. The head rolling forward is the very last thing. Next, we're gonna do some kicks to the back. We're gonna do 10 straight and 10 with a bent leg. Coming down on all fours, one leg points straight back behind me. I'm just gonna kick straight up with a nice straight leg, making sure to focus on the knee. 10 times. And bend, looking back, 10 kicks to the back. From here, we're gonna go into our first bridge. Lying flat on your back, we're gonna press up. Into a comfortable bridge, just kind of rock back and forth. Get comfortable.
And come on down.
Next, we're gonna do 10 bridge rocks, rocking from bridge with straight legs to bent legs. Pressing up, I'm just gonna lightly rock back and forth between straightening my legs and bending. 10 times. Make sure to look up towards your heels as much as possible. Now we're going to do some walking in and out of our bridge from tight to loose. I'm going to press up into my bridge and walk my hands in as close to my feet as possible. Stretch up through my hips and then walk back out to a normal bridge. We're going to do some bridge leg extensions. All I'm going to do is press up into my bridge, walk my feet and hands a bit closer together, and then I'm going to bring one leg up to passe and extend it to the ceiling. Bring it back to passe and bring it back down to the floor. I'm going to do this 5 times with each leg. If you need to take breaks in between sides, that's totally okay. We're going to do a stretch for our neck. Using a yoga block, book, or anything that's slightly elevated, we're just going to place our chin on it, reach our arms straight out in front of us onto our fingertips, and walk our knees back until we can start pressing our chest down to the floor and looking up with our eyes. If this isn't enough of a stretch, find something a little bit higher. You can stack a block this way or this way to get a bigger or smaller stretch, depending on how flexible your neck is already. Next, we're going to do bridges walking down the wall. Find a nice, sturdy wall and face away from it. I'm going to reach back with my hands until I can find the wall comfortably. You can walk your feet out as far as you need to and just start slowly walking yourself down the wall and to the floor to your bridge. Once you're here, we're going to come straight back up. Think about squeezing the butt and using your legs to help press you up as you walk all the way back up to standing. We're going to do this 10 times.